You're saying in school, you started painting people's rooms.
Yeah.
So that's how people started to know you. So that's like your first,
Yeah.
let's say, little break as a celebrity artist.
Yeah,
Or you start to
something
think
like
I'm an artist.
Yeah.
What does that feel like when you're in school, but you're known for this thing, which is art? You know what I mean? Like, how did that make you think about, okay, maybe, did I make it, I could be an artist? Or was that still like just having fun?
So it was both. One, it was I became popular in school,
Mm.
and you know the feeling when you become popular,
Yeah.
especially when you're young. So it was interesting. Every day I want to wake up and paint. There's another concept with that. It wasn't really like art. It was like just a painter.
Mm.
But I redefined it in my school. I made it look different because they don't really regard painters. They look at it like it's a downgraded job.
Mm.
It's not worth doing, and they don't read people who paint. But with me, I made it different.
Mm.
I had vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I had fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go for painting, I dress very cool. I don't dress dirty. I dress neat.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very good spirit. It comes with like the whole package.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just there for me painting. It was like a whole mission for me in school. Like, okay, let's work on the mentality of people thinking that artists are poor. We're not poor. And sometimes when they come to my room, they see stuffs. They're like, how are you able to afford this kind of stuff? I mean, you just paint. And like, yeah, we make money from painting.
Yeah.
I'm fast. So the more rooms I paint in a day, the more money I make. So why do you think I can have stuff like this?
Yeah.
So I had people who even told me after school that I was one who inspired them to
That's
go
sick.
into entrepreneurship. And
That's so sick.
yeah.
I also like the fact that you try to redefine what it means to be a painter, even at that age. So you're saying, how old were you at this time? This is like,
I was not too young. I was already 21.
okay, so 21, so still,
Yeah.
but you're still at that age when you're popular in school, you're still trying to redefine the idea of what it means to be a painter and like trying to like, even for yourself, I'm guessing, for you too, because obviously you embody it, you live the life. I'm a painter. I'm not just like guy who doesn't, do anything, which is the idea in people's heads when they see art. I think especially, and we'll get into a bit later, how Africans view art, because I think that's very interesting and seeing the shift over the last couple of years. But talk to me about, so you start painting the rooms, but then you evolved from that, I'm guessing. You start painting on canvas and digital, whatever. So what was that process? Talk to me about when you start to like change that.
So what happened was, you remember I'm a science student. I'm doing something even close to medical because I did toxicology and environmental management. So I needed to be very serious. And because I was painting rooms, it was taking a lot of my time. So I didn't want to go so much into the arts. So, but I was waiting. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be like an artist. I used to look at like people who I had inspiration from, Osa 7. They were like very good painters I would watch from Instagram. Then I was in the eastern part of Nigeria. And I'll be like, I want to be like this. So, but I had patience. I was waiting till I was done with school. And the moment I was done with school, I moved to Lagos because you can't say you want to be an artist and you're not in Lagos. You're not gonna get the opportunities. You're not gonna get the right connection.
Yeah, you need to be where everyone is making art.
Yeah, and you're not gonna get the appreciation. Already in Nigeria, there was already low visibility with art, but in Lagos it's different. The mentality there is different. So it's just like in school how I had to redefine people's mindset about painting and all that. It's not the same in Lagos. Lagos is different. So I waited, and when I was planning to move to Lagos, I wanted to rebrand myself. So I was thinking, I don't want to answer Mary Charles. I wanted to answer Mary Charles my name, but I wanted to have like a structured brand, to have a name, the reason why I wanted to do this and all. So, and that was when I moved to Lagos 2020. And then I started. The first art I did in Lagos was a 3-piece art. It was my previous landlord. He commissioned me to make a 3-piece art for his. He had a big space in his house, and then I created it in Surulere, Jueleba. It's a very popular place in Lagos.
Yeah.
And I remember because that was the first real art I created, not just painting. You know, anyone could just rub rollers on the wall. I mean, all those years I was rolling, painting, I enjoyed it, but this was like proper art. It was like you had expressions, you had figures, you had proper colors, you had the canvas. It was my first paint on canvas. And then when I did it, I remember people speaking Yoruba and they would say, "Oh, this Igbo boy is good," and I was so proud of myself. And that was
like the beginning. Going deeper on that then, because the question I had too was, I want to know about the process, your process of creating art. When we talked about this before, actually, when we first met, and you were just talking to me about like how it's not how people think. Everyone has a different process, and some processes is hidden. You're not gonna know until you talk to the person who did it, and then he might tell you a little bit secret.
Yeah.
But obviously, at the beginning, when you were creating the idea, how did you take it from an idea in your mind, or this guy commissioned to do this, to the canvas finished done?
Okay, for different painters, right? Different artists, rather. Okay, for me, okay, because it was my first, I was scared. So many artists are always scared and anxious before, even when you become very good. Before you start, if the piece means something to you, if it's important to you, I mean, it's always important for so many artists. They always want to pour out their mind through that art. They're always anxious before the first stroke. So for me, I was still an amateur. I started with sketching. I would sketch out the idea first, not on the canvas, but like I'll create like the concept on like a paper. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to put the colors and all. I always use acrylic because I don't have patience when I paint. Remember, like I told you, back in school, I'm always fast. I think it's good. I think also it's bad because as a painter, you need to have patience. But I'm like, why? I always question that. Why do I have to have patience? And if anybody asks the reason why I love acrylic over oil paint, is because of this. Oil paint takes a lot of time. Acrylic is quick to dry. So I used the acrylic. I sketched out the idea with the canvas. The process is always how will I put it? It's always scary at first. From the first time, it doesn't look fine, and sometimes you're having doubts. It's gonna even look out. Is it gonna look good? Is it gonna? So, but at the end of the day, you always have this mind like, oh, just continue with the process. Like each layer, you rub. We make mistakes, especially if you're not maybe you're not naturally gifted. Some think, I don't know if I'm naturally gifted with it. I think I'm naturally in love with art. I put a lot of work in improving. I don't know if there's anybody who just wakes up and know how to paint. But for me, I put a lot of concepts. Sometimes I also get inspirations from people. I also look at how okay, this is how they do the stuff and all. And you don't even get it, but when you get it right is when you're doing it. How you hold the brush, how you rub it, how you draw it. Sometimes you might be doing it wrong, and just once your hand gets it, and you're like, oh, this is it. And then from there you get, but you have to keep doing it. You make mistake during the process, and then you learn from it. And then people don't know that part. When you just post the finished product, people just appreciate it, and then they don't know you went through. There were even times when you're like,
you want to get rid of
destroy it,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you just leave it. You go to maybe you go to bed or you go somewhere. But when you come back, and then you're like, oh, okay, let's do this.
You mentioned at the beginning, right? You were talking about the process, and you're right. It's different for everyone. It's about figuring it out and the trials and tribulations of figuring it out.
Yeah.
What advice would you want to give someone that's in that stage, figuring it out at the beginning? Because when you talk and you obviously you're still developing as an artist, and you will continue developing. But you remember what it was like back then when you had the doubts and you were scared, but you pushed through it. What advice would you wish someone had told you back then about how to figure it out?
Okay, so I think mine was very difficult because I didn't go to an art school. I didn't have anybody encouraging me, maybe from family and all. It was very, very difficult. And now you ask that question. That's actually the reason why I developed the name Bomo Ways and the brand. So my brand Bomo Ways is it means bad on my own ways. It's actually not like in a bad way. It's like when someone in Nigeria, they'll be like, oh boy, you bad. They're trying to say you're very good at what you do. So it's bigger than art for me. It's like me encouraging everybody. My cousins, when they want to rebel against their parents and do what they love, they come to me, they ask me, I want to do this. Do you think I should? I'm like, yeah, do it. Not like you come to me and say you want to smoke or stuff. Not that kind of stuff. You're a gamer, you love games, you want to go into proper creating games and all. I always encourage people to do what they love. That's the whole point of Bomo Ways, my brand. It's a part where I'm encouraging every creative to do what they love. If you're a mechanic, if you're a tailor, everyone creates in different ways. Don't switch because your friend is doing better in his own field. Everyone has different time, and everyone has different talents and peace. So back to that part, because of this mindset I had about knowing what I want to do. That's the reason why even when I'm not getting it right, even when it's difficult to like get the particular project done, I always push through. What I do is when I get frustrated a bit, I let it be. It always works out. I think it's going to always work out for everybody. I've listened to some of my colleagues also speak on like interviews, podcasts, and when they say this, I'm like, oh, so I'm not alone. We're all the same. So everyone, you wouldn't know. You think everyone is just one genius artist or painter. Nah. We do a lot of figuring it out behind the scenes. So if you're an upcoming artist coming up and then you're feeling like you're not good enough because you're not getting it right, just know that so many people who became great, became good, they went through all this process. Even we still go through all those process because the more you grow, the more bigger tasks you get, the more bigger jobs you get. And the bigger tasks, you've not done it before. You're thinking, this is a new challenge. How am I gonna do it? When I picked up again when I moved to London was when I did a painting I've never done before. I did a portrait painting of everyone in my class. I've never done that before. And that painting took me about 2 months. And when I brought the painting to school, everyone was like, wow, that's me. The point is, nobody knew times in the midnight when I got one part wrong. I'm like, this doesn't look like Lillian. What the hell? And I go to bed. But when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I got this. I did it wrong. So when I'm settled, I fix it. But that was something that now, if I decide to paint 20 people at a time, I'm not going to make that mistake I made then because I learned through it.
That's so true. And you said so much good stuff there. How did you come to like get to a stage where you were like, actually, I'm going to go do this thing that I care about. I'm going to create a brand. I'm going to move to Lagos. I'm going to move to like what inspired you? Like what motivates you to keep improving, to keep chasing it?